comics cover for the week of September 5th, 2018, episode 41. Hi, all. And hi to my co-host, Jack, here.
I'm not a co-host.
What does that even mean?
I was doing like the symbiote.
Symbiote.
It's not a terribly... Okay, if you really think about it, it's not a terribly pronounced thing. Like symbiosis, or like, I guess symbiosis, but like a symbiotic relationship, like it comes from biology. So theoretically, it's not terribly wrong. It's just not how anyone says it.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird that no one at any point, like... Is that how they're going to say it the whole movie, or is that just one character who said it weird?
It's like how in the original Superman movie, you remember how Marlon Brando says Krypton?
How does he say it?
And everybody else just goes with it, because Marlon Brando in the opening narration goes, Krypton.
Oh, he says Krypton?
He says Krypton.
Oh, hilarious. That's hilarious. I did not remember that. So here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them. The industry, movies, TV, games. There's games talk.
Big games.
Yeah, big games. One big game.
Oh, yeah.
We will also talk spoilers. We'll warn you about the spoilers.
Yes.
I'm Doug. I'm our resident comics veteran. I tripped over it because I still have not adjusted the template.
I think you said...
say something else.
I think you said B instead of V.
I did, so you're right. I did avoid it, so I did say veteran.
So you're a good veteran, and now you're a betterin.
No, I'm just better than you at comics, so I'm your veteran.
I think that's actually clever. We should write that in. That's a good thing. I'm better than you.
I'm better than you. For example... as an example of my comics prowess, an example of how much better in Jack I am at comics. I know who the character in an image I'm about to show Jack is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to figure out some easier way for you to say that.
Yeah, that transition is hard.
It's not good. Okay, so I'm Jack. I'm reading a lot of comics, but I'm still pretty new. So, I don't know who this thing I'm going to click is. On sheet 4, I don't know why it says sheet 4, because it doesn't automatically do the next one. So did you make 2 sheets that you deleted and you mistakenly did?
It must be somehow retaining information from previous tabs on previous rundowns or something. I don't know, because I just made the one tab.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to click it right now. And you're going to share this image later in the week, which you did this past week. Oh, wow. Okay. He's a hang glider. And this, in this second image, his first line of dialogue obviously has been censored. But Jack is looking at 2 images here. So you gave the big point here. Any other details you wanna? He's a hang glider with pink goggles. The first image has 2 money bags hanging from it. That looks like a rough sketch for a comic. Doesn't look like a final thing, unless that's just a really old...
This is like a silver or golden age comic.
Doesn't it look like super cheap, though? I'm talking about the money bags specifically. They look like they're just like...
I mean, that's a lot of old comics.
I feel like a little bit more care is usually put into them.
Also, I think this is not a full illustration. This is like a smaller part of an illustration.
Okay, so he has little money bags. He has a self-made hang glider, I guess. He wears goggles, a helmet, and like this army suit kind of thing. And in the next one, he was saying, hell yeah. So, a hang glider. I can't imagine that hang gliding is the only thing this character does, because that's a normal thing that people do. And normal people don't just go like, oh, I'm going to use my hang glider to rob banks.
Don't they?
No, I don't think so. Do people?
But what if this man did?
What? Well, I mean, yes, it could happen. But okay, can I just go on a little tangent first? Do people rob banks still?
In real life?
Yeah.
Are you asking me if there are still bank robbers in the world?
Yeah, but like, how often does it happen? I would love to do like...
I don't know.
I would love to do research on like how much bank robbery or how much like certain crimes have gotten more popular or less popular.
I would imagine like holdups in banks still happen quite often.
But they have to be like very minimal, right?
I mean, like, yeah, like, I mean, it's not like you're in danger, like you have a 50% chance every time you go into a bank that it's going to get robbed. But, you know, like, I don't know, like, probably a few times a year at least it happens.
Yeah, I guess
like,
so.
in the country.
But doesn't everybody know that they're, like, insured against all that money and it doesn't really matter and, like, they're going to get caught probably anyways?
But they don't care. They want the cash. Like, they're not thinking about I mean, they think they can get away. They're dumb.
Okay. Getting back to Mr. Hang Glider. Okay, I really don't have that much to go on with this guy. Like, he's a hang glider. He's wearing green. So I guess I'm gonna say this is.
Can you guess a name? Like if
let me guess a publisher first.
Okay,
I'm gonna say Marvel.
This is DC.
Oh shit. God, he's gonna get fucked up with all these overpowered people in DC. Okay.
Can you guess? Okay, so I'll give you. Okay, is this? Well, okay, you can guess this pretty easily. Is this a hero or a villain?
This is a villain.
Okay,
definitely.
Yes. Who can you guess whose villain he might be?
Well, hey, you know, he might be like a Robin Hood kind of thing. You know,
that's true. That's true. He could have been.
Ooh, I have an idea. He's a Green Arrow villain.
Ooh, that would have been a good guess. No, he is in fact a Batman villain.
Oh. God, he's gonna get fucked up. Why would he do this? Okay, he must have something else other than hang gliding under his.
Here, I'm gonna give you another look.
My hands on my head.
He doesn't.
Oh God. That's literally, he just has hang gliding. Was he an army person, like an ex-army operative or something?
Okay, you want me to just give you this guy's name and deal here?
Just tell me, is it like a sort of Falcon scenario? Are they trying to do Falcon?
I mean, in that he flies around, I guess.
Army background, though? No?
I don't think he has an army background. Let me check what his background was here.
Are you gonna do your fake? Is that coming through?
Yeah, we both just did some prime Foley work.
Some hacking.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're 90s hackers. Let's see. I mean, no, I don't think he has military experience as far as I know. Okay. Should
I get into name? Here we go. Is the name obvious?
Kind of. What's another name for like what he's on, maybe? Like what could you potentially call this thing? / look at the symbol on his chest. On the right.
Oh, the human kite?
This is in fact Kite Man.
Oh my God, I forgot. The human kite is from South Park.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's one of their superhero names, and it's
pretty good.
And it's really funny because that's who Kyle is, who's the Jewish one.
Oh,
so
boy.
Kite sounds like, you know, the drug. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Kite Man. I hope he's not Jewish.
Not as far as I know. This character, he's Kite Man. He is in fact in the second, that second panel there, the first censored balloon is him saying Kite Man.
Hell yeah.
He says, hell yeah. He is an ongoing thing so he's an old character.
Okay.
Like old, like ridiculous.
Is his name Jacob Katz?
No, let me give you what his actual name is because it's better.
I'm gonna say it's Jacob Katz because I want to think that he's Jewish and they're making a joke.
I would not like to think that. His name is in fact much, much better though. His name is Charlie Brown.
No.
His name is Charles Brown.
What?
His name is Charles Brown.
I just don't get, like, when you're writing, like, okay, I guess it was a different, like, standard back then when they were making characters. Like, they wanted to give people something to latch onto because they didn't think they were going to just pick it up. But I guess, like, Charlie Brown was in comics and this was a cute way to... I would have. I mean, isn't it amazing where comics are now compared to where they were?
Yeah. Yeah,
God
it is.
Damn. What did he... like, what's the point of him being called Charles Brown? I don't get it.
Because of the kite-eating tree. It's a stretch.
Kite-eating tree?
From Peanuts. The kite-eating tree. Charlie Brown always gets his kite stuck in the tree.
Oh, I didn't read a lot of comics. I didn't read a lot of Charlie Brown comics, I don't think, so...
Anyways, that's a thing in Peanuts.
That was like an ongoing
yes, there's the kite-eating... There's the kite-eating tree. It is a tree. It has a face for some reason. It's terrifying.
Is it like the world tree?
Sure. It's the world tree, and it eats kites.
Okay,
we'll
cool.
Say that.
By the way, I was just rewatching a clip from Captain America: The First Adventure, and they reference the world tree in it.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
there's little Thor Easter eggs in the very beginning there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry. But okay, Charlie Brown, who is Kite Man, and who's not getting his. There's gotta be a time when he gets stopped by accidentally flying into a tree, right? There has to be.
I don't remember. He has been a kind of an ongoing joke / subplot in Tom King's Batman.
Oh.
And it's pretty great. He's the one who introduced him always saying, Kite Man, hell yeah. Or just flying through the air and going, hell yeah.
That's a thing that he does all the time?
Yes. Is like literally half his dialogue balloons in Tom King's run are him just saying, hell yeah, or Kite Man.
And it's like when he's
flying through the air and just yelling, Kite Man.
Oh my god. And he just thinks he's getting away, so he's like, oh, hell yeah. And then he gets stopped, probably. I
think he just, loves being Kite Man so much, and he thinks being Kite Man is the most badass thing in the world, so he's like, Kite Man, hell yeah.
God, it's just, so lame. Like, he's such a lame, person. God.
Yeah. But if you ever read the Jokes of War, the War of Jokes and Riddles,
the Jokes of War and Riddles,
the Jokes of War and Riddles.
I like that. That's good.
But yeah, if you ever read the War of Jokes and Riddles, he is a part of it, a much larger part of it than you would think.
Wow,
and it's pretty great.
Okay, I'm really excited. Do you think Heroes in Crisis is going to spoil any of his run, Tom King's?
I'm not sure. I mean, they might talk about some of the wedding stuff, but I mean, I feel like that's not that big of a spoiler, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it was so big out there, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what all else they could spoil. That's kind of the big
You were
thing.
talking about the Booster Gold stuff. Apparently, he was a big part of it, and...
yeah, I don't know how much they'll get into the details of that one, but maybe.
Okay. I hope he keeps it a little separate because I really want to read that at some point soon. So
I feel like knowing Tom King, he likes to keep his stuff fairly self-contained.
Okay.
Within each book.
Were you going to say within itself again?
Yeah, why is that? Why would that be bad?
Well, you stopped yourself because you kept saying the word self in the same sentence as self.
Well, that is why I moved away from it. I thought you were going to say, that didn't make sense.
I just like nitpicking everything you say because it's funny.
You do. You really do. It's infuriating.
It's fun. Outfuriating.
Right. Jack, how was your week?
My week was great. Last weekend was a long weekend, and it was fantastic. I watched the movie Cube on Netflix. Have you ever seen this movie, Doug?
I have not seen the movie Cube. I'm aware of it. I have seen, an image and / maybe a trailer at some point.
Oh, wow. It is a hysterical movie. It's so bad. And there are 2 sequels that I'm really excited to watch. So it's about these people that wake up. It's basically like Saw in a way, but a precursor to Saw. So
that was my impression of it from the trailer.
Yeah, precursor. People wake up in this cube thing that's has traps in some of the rooms, but not in others. And they have to figure out which are safe, which are not, and they have to figure out how to get out of the cube. And it's the reason why it's so crazy is that, it gives you an impression of what each character is at the beginning, right? And how they speak and what they do. And, for example, there's, one character who is the sort of, leading man character who's like trying to get everyone through everything and trying to, be the guy to get everyone to keep going on. And then, like, in the middle of it, he just starts sadistically murdering people. Like, he gets frustrated and he just murders them. And like that's how he does it. And it's like, oh my God, you're terrible. And like, he's supposed to be like, that's what they're going for. But like the whole movie, a lot of the character work is about like taking what you thought of these people at the beginning and then just fucking it over by the end. And so in that way, it's kind of interesting, but it comes off as so funny that it's like, I cannot take it seriously. Like a good director or writer would have probably done it in a pretty cool way, but it's just so funny. Like, oh God. Yeah. So there are 2 sequels and I want to watch it.
A worthwhile pursuit that you are on right now.
It was fantastic. It was great. Doug, let's tell me about you. What's up with you?
So a little thing called Spider-Man. The Spider-Man. Harvey Spider-Man, attorney at law, came to the PlayStation 4, the new big AAA Spider-Man game from Insomniac, who has made this new Spider-Man game. And a little cyclical there. So I've been playing it in the evenings last night and the night before when it came out. I'm like 7 or 8 hours in. Damn. Probably.
You went to work because you started at midnight.
I did start at midnight. I played until about 3 a.m. Well, not midnight, because it unlocked. I realized it unlocked at 11.
Oh, because
just before it unlocked. Yeah, Eastern time. So I played for about 4 hours that night, and I played for about 4 hours-ish last night. So I guess about 8.
Damn.
7 or 8.
Okay.
But, I don't want to get like too deep into like my thoughts here, other than like it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. I can't stop thinking about it because I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
But because I'm trying to organize a bonus recording with Brian Kravitz and Matt Singleton
from our sister podcast.
Our sister podcast. We have no real correlation other than we know them. But yeah, our buddies over at Mashing Buttons, the gaming podcast. So yeah, I'm trying to organize something with them or like jump on with them on their show or something. So I'm not sure how that's going to manifest yet, but we're going to do something. So I'm going to hold off on giving like a lot of impressions.
Yeah.
Other than, it's really great. I just fought. I mean, like if you've got any questions for me, go ahead and ask.
Yes.
I can answer any of those.
So how many boss battles have you done thus far?
I fought. Do you want to know who I fought, or is that spoilery?
Is that spoilery? I don't know. Just tell me how many numbers.
Let's see. I've done maybe. I mean, only one real like big arena boss battle where you're like, like trying to find the way to beat them and stuff.
Was it the Shocker one?
And like memorizing pattern. Yes, it's the Shocker one from the demo that I had already previously played because I played it at Comic-Con.
All right. Did you find that repetitive? I saw a review online that said that some of the boss fights seem repetitive, but some are very good.
I didn't find it really repetitive. I thought it would, like they varied up his attacks and everything.
Okay.
I mean, that's just kind of boss battles are structured. Like it's pattern memorization.
Well, yeah, definitely. I know that specifically because I'm playing Super Mario Galaxy right now, and it's fantastic. And I did a couple boss battles, but I don't know, it's so good. I can't believe I don't know how they come up with this shit. Honestly.
It's so great.
But in any case,
like it's so inventive.
Yeah,
I like that game.
But in any case, and you really like the swinging, you said, in general.
Oh, the traversal in the game is the highlight. Like it's like swinging around in New York is so fluid and so kinetic and fun, and like it's simple if you want it to be, but like you can like embellish on it and do all sorts of things. I just unlocked an ability that allows me to do tricks in the air that do nothing other than they give you like a couple, literally like 2 or 4 XP or whatever. When you need like thousands to level up.
Yeah.
But like, it's just fun. Like, they give you all these little things to like liven it up, and it's just a joy to move around in that game. And I'm really enjoying that. Like, I haven't fast traveled once yet. I probably won't.
I mean, you shouldn't. I'm actually surprised that they even have that in. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. It makes sense that they would.
It's kind of like people would get mad at them if they didn't. It's just kind of an expectation at this point.
Yeah.
Also, it's just very funny that the fast travel in this game is the subway, and Spider-Man just walks down to the subway and sits down and rides it. Like, I've seen videos of it, and it's just so doofy looking. Anyways. All right. So, the most exciting thing I feel like for us personally this week in the news was the announcement from Marvel that Donny Cates is going to be helming a new Guardians of the Galaxy relaunch series.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. When did they say when it's going to be coming out?
I don't think they solicited yet.
Yeah, I don't think they've said exactly.
I think
when
this was just this is happening. So maybe
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year, maybe December, who knows?
It says 2019.
So beginning of the year.
Probably like January, February of 2019, sometime early 2019.
I just hope they give him I just hope he's on this for so long, because I feel like he can do so much with such a sprawling cosmic space opera sort of thing. I just feel like it's so perfect for him. He could totally write a definitive run for this, you know?
Yeah, and I keep forgetting. I don't know how I keep forgetting. It's not only is it Donny Cates, it's Jeff Shaw as well.
Exactly.
So it's the creative team it's the creative team with when it comes to Donny Cates.
Yeah.
It's
Thanos,
the creative
God
team
Country.
from Thanos and God Country. Both incredible books. And seeing them do what is probably going to be a much longer, hopefully monthly consistent title.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Thanos came out at a regular clip, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't a long run on Thanos, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt. There will probably be fill-in artists at some point, but hopefully it's done well, as a refresher between arcs or something. That's usually how I prefer to do it.
Yeah.
Or they do it.
Also, sorry, little in there. Also, the creative team from a lot of other stuff, including Paybacks, which I read that I'm going to send to you soon, and I'm really excited.
Was that
too.
Jeff? That was Jeff Shaw.
That was Jeff Shaw as well.
Okay. God, he does this big teaser image that they put out.
Oh, it
that
looks great.
Basically has every cosmic Marvel character on it you can think, including all the various incarnations of the Guardians. We got Galactus, a bunch of Kree characters, and Beta Ray Bill and Nova. Just anyone you could think of. We've got what is this fucking dog's name again? Cosmo.
Oh yeah,
Cosmo the space dog.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of these characters, but I don't know a lot of these. I can't. Groot looks really sinister, doesn't he?
He does a little bit. Yeah, sometimes he looks a little. I mean, that's kind of his comics look.
Okay.
He's a bit more kind of, I don't know, devilly looking. I don't know.
Huh.
He's definitely more cartoony. He doesn't look like just a raccoon. He's got a big old head and stuff.
Look, we even have Howard the Duck on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Howard the Duck is going to be it, which is hilarious.
Jesus.
Definitely between that and Cosmo, and just he's definitely borrowing some stuff from the Guardians movie Easter eggy kind of jokes.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
We got Cosmic Ghost Rider in the background here. Anyways, I can list off characters all day, but
I'm super pumped. And what do you think is a crazy, goofy cosmic character that maybe hasn't been around a little bit that you would be excited?
Oh God. I don't know. It's hard to think of ones that aren't in this image.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know that I have an answer for that, but I just think Guardians, the specific mix of space opera and comedy.
Yeah.
is such a good fit for Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. Like, I think they can really hit this one out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to really get on board with a Guardians comic. I've loved the movies, but I've never really gotten into them in the comics all that much.
Yeah.
Other than like their appearances and other stuff. So I am really excited for someone whose work, like, or a team whose work I'm so on board with.
Yeah.
To like really sell me on them and like give me a story.
And a team who's shown that they can do this kind of stuff. Like I haven't, what is it? They haven't done like any big team stuff yet. Donny Cates, at least, he hasn't written like a big team book yet for Marvel. But like, for example, Paybacks, which is comedy team book of superheroes, is amazing. And the team dynamic is done so well, and how he balances going into each character. So it makes me so excited for this kind of thing. It's going to be great. I also wanted to ask though, because recently as well, Marvel said, or Donny Cates said, that he was helming Marvel Knights. So, and then not necessarily writing everything. I read an article about this that said it was more of a showrunner, quote unquote, role, which is interesting for comics. I guess that means he's not scripting necessarily. He is more so like just giving the general like plot line and ideas that are going throughout. So tell me about Marvel Knights, because I really don't know what it is. It sounds like street, like more powerful street level kind of stuff, like Daredevil.
Kind of, yeah. So Marvel Knights was an imprint at Marvel that originally was non-continuity. That started in 1998. I'm looking at like a fact sheet here.
Oh,
I never read any of this stuff, but I looked up some of this.
So you're
stuff.
not being better than me right now.
I know like the vague kind of what it was, like that it was about like street level characters for the most part, like Daredevil, and I think Punisher was a big one. Ghost Rider maybe. Anyways, yeah, so and they were like non-continuity books that were supposed to be more kind of experimental with the characters, and like it was basically just like a prestige kind of imprint where just like we're gonna get like A-list talent on these books, and they're going to tell you a standalone story about a big Marvel character like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a bit more kind of like grounded.
Wait, a standalone story about the one character? So it's usually about one character?
Generally. So this Marvel Knights, so it's the 20th anniversary of Marvel Knights this year.
Okay.
And so they're doing a mini-series that Donny Cates they have referred to him as show running. But then it's a bunch of other creative people writing and obviously doing the art. And it sounds like it's... I could be wrong about this because I'm having trouble finding information, but I think it's like an issue per character.
Huh.
I'm not sure. So I think it's basically just we're going to get a bunch of my understanding is that it's going to be a bunch of one-shots about the characters that Marvel Knights used to be about. Okay. By like creators kind of vibing on that style of storytelling.
But that's also kind of weird to have a showrunner for that style, because if they don't relate to each other, then what's the point of a showrunner?
I could be wrong about that. It could just be a mini-series.
I feel like it's got to be a mini-series if they have him specifically in this kind of a role, because that's weird. You know what I mean? If they, like, why would not just have different writers for each, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. But I mean, there's a bunch of writers, which is why it feels like...
Did you see any other writers that you enjoy that are listed
on this Marvel Knights thing?
Yeah.
Not really. Like, I've tried Matt Rosenberg stuff. It hasn't really hooked me.
He's the one that does Punisher right now, right?
Yes. I really like one of the artists, Travel Foreman. Oh. He did most of Jeff Lemire's Animal Man run at DC. Or not most. He did like half of it or something. But he's really good.
What should I? Sorry, off of Animal Man. Should I? If I wanted to read that, should I start with Grant Morrison's?
They're pretty separate. You'd probably want to read if you're like a completionist and you want to like get the like info dump reveals in the right order in terms of like his mythology and stuff.
Yeah,
I'd go with Grant Morrison's first. But like, I mean, like if you know the basic kind of ideas about the character first, like already, like you could jump into either. They're not really related.
Is it kind of a Swamp thing with like Alan Moore and Scott Snyder's runs?
A little bit. Like, yeah, like you could read either of those and like, yeah, like if you read Alan Moore's run first, you're going to get the first time the Parliament of Trees shows up.
Oh god.
But, like,
don't tell me about that.
Oh shit, I didn't know that was, I assumed that was right at the beginning. Never mind.
You bastard.
I'm sorry.
But now I know that phrase, and at least I have something to be excited about.
Oh, you don't even know what that is? Okay.
No,
all right, I'll leave you with that tease then.
No,
okay.
not the tease, the trees.
The trees. Trees tease. We're teasing trees.
Ooh.
Anyways, so, yeah, like, anyways, you would learn, like, important, like, you would, like, Alan Morse or Grant Morrison in those runs, like, introduce things that are, at that time, new concepts and stuff that the further series just take as kind of
mythos.
As part of the mythos, and they just run with them.
Okay, I got that.
But, like, I mean, at this point, to be honest, like, I mean, you didn't know about that particular one, but, like, for most people reading, or, like, more experienced people reading comics, not most, like, those things are just kind of givens for those characters.
I got you.
So,
honestly,
like,
I don't know much about Animal Man, and I love Grant Morrison anyway, so why wouldn't I read it? And it's
I would,
great.
I'd read the Grant Morrison
Why
one.
not? Yeah, like, there's no point not to. You know what I mean? Like, literally the only thing I've read Animal Man in is 52.
He was just in Justice League for a panel.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, he's in the blue and white outfit with his blonde hair showing in the crowd shot.
Yes, I remember that. Okay, going back to Marvel Knights. Sorry. So okay, but yeah, one shots would be weird. I hope it's just a mini. Sorry. I hope it's just a mini series because I don't think Donny Cates' role makes sense if it's a one shot thing.
Yeah. I'm not sure what exactly the format of that series is going to be, but it's something it's basically a mini series celebrating the 20th anniversary of Marvel Knights.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So, what else? Just very quickly on these other two. So they announced a Superior Octopus book, I believe, for October.
I saw that. Yeah. That's what I was confused about what you have here.
Yeah. So then we just got an announcement, which fucking frustrating how they do this shit before, like, that series hasn't even started. And so now we've got this announcement that, then after that, we're gonna get Superior Spider-Man again. So my assumption is this is going to exist alongside us already having both Peter Parker
and Miles
Morales. We've also got Spider-Gwen. We've got, like, fucking... They're doing a giant Spider-Geddon thing, like Spider-Verse type event coming up, like, at Marvel, and it's like, how many fucking Spider-Men do we need? God damn it!
Who's Scarlet Spider again? Is that a girl or a woman, or is that... No,
Scarlet Spider is, I believe, a clone of Spider-Man. I think a couple people have been Scarlet Spider, but
okay.
They're the one in the red, like, plain red suit with a blue, like, sleeveless hoodie.
Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot. It's crazy. I'm trying to shield Samantha because she's reading. Well, yes, you do, but she has no knowledge of that whole Superior Spider-Man thing yet. Mm-hmm. So I want to shield her from all that, so that the thing just happens. You know what I mean? In his run, mm-hmm. And it's like, what the fuck? Holy shit! What are they gonna do now? Yeah. Oh, they're gonna write a series about him.
I'm just frustrated because, like I like the idea of Doc Ock as trying to be good as a Spider-Man character, but, like, I'm just frustrated with this Marvel decision they seem to have made in the last few years of, like, we're not going to actually change things. We're going to keep everything exactly the same. But if you want things to change, we've got like 2 or 3 other versions of these characters who exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten so confusing. Like, we don't have multiple Thors anymore, but there were multiple Thors for a while. There are multiple Wolverines. There are like going to be 3 Spider-Men now who are just like plain, like, we're just going by Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's... It's gonna start being like The Flash.
Yeah, like, just pick one. Like, or give the other ones a different name. It's like, you can't have, like, 5 people running around named Captain America or whatever, you know? Like, it's frustrating.
Do you think they'll ever have an old man Spider-Man? Oh, no, it'd be called Spider Old Man.
I mean, isn't that what has been happening in spoilers for Marvel 2-in-1?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess I didn't really give a very good spoiler warning.
No, not really at all.
I spoiled it in the spoiler warning.
Yeah, it wasn't that, like... I mean, they don't know what we're talking about.
Whatever. So, that's a thing. I'm interested to read it. I don't know. We'll see. Christos Gage can be good.
Okay.
I liked one of his earlier books, Avengers Academy, quite a bit.
Is that like Young Avengers?
It was like we're training these kids to maybe someday be Avengers, or at the very least, it's like Avengers associated characters acting as teachers to young superheroes.
Okay, cool.
It was a cool series.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to at least give Superior Octopus a shot. Okay. If that's good, I'll check this out. But
all right, you do that.
Cool. And then just very briefly, because we always got to check in on Doom Patrol casting.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. The Doom Patrol TV show cast. It's Niles Calder, the chief. He is their
Professor X
leader, kind of, but like with a little bit maybe more malintent,
yes,
but not necessarily. He's mysterious.
He's mysterious.
The chief, and that is Timothy Dalton. And
I'm so excited. I think it's great. Like, okay, of course, Kelsey Grammer would have been awesome. Timothy Dalton is pretty fucking great, though. I love Timothy Dalton in general. I think he's been great in movies like Hot Fuzz. I love him in that. I love him in, like, what else? Oh, when he was in Doctor Who, he was great. What else have I known him from? What else is he in? I know James Bond.
I tuned you out for a second. Did you say Hot Fuzz?
I said Hot Fuzz. I said he was in Doctor Who. He said James Bond.
Yeah.
And what else is he known for?
Honestly, not a lot.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, like, it's James Bond, and then like the thing I love him most in is Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
but like,
I guess he's in World's End as well.
No, he's not.
Yeah, isn't he?
That's Pierce Brosnan.
Oh shit, you're right. That's not fair. Why wouldn't he use the same James Bond?
No, he's got to use a different James Bond. Edgar Wright must be a fan of the James Bonds. Or he's just British.
Oh, yeah. I guess so. I forgot Pierce Brosnan was British, I guess. Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is. What are you saying?
I forgot he was British.
He's James Bond.
Are all... I guess they are
yes.
all... Yes. I don't know. I always forget...
Other than, I guess broadly UK, like... Sean Connery is Scottish, but yeah, I mean they're all UK actors.
Okay, Pierce Brosnan is Irish.
Okay, whatever. Still,
that's not UK.
I guess you
tell any Irish person that they're UK.
If he's from Ireland proper, or I don't know if that's the right way to put that, but
we should probably not talk about this because you actually went to Ireland, and maybe some people are still straggling on us.
Anyways,
right?
if he is from Northern Ireland, that is the UK, but I don't know.
Do they like to be called from the UK though? Even Northern Ireland people?
I don't know. I
just know tensions are high there. You know what I mean? For what they're called.
Let's not make them higher. So
higher. Sorry, go ahead.
Was that you trying to do the Wet Hot American Summer song?
What? It's a real song. It's not just associated with a movie.
I only associate it with that movie because it's terrible.
It's a funny movie.
No, the song is terrible.
It's a funny song. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
Did you watch the other Wet Hot American Summer, like the two TV shows that they did?
I watched the first TV show. It was great. The second one was not as good. It kind of ran out of steam a little bit.
That's too bad. The first one was so much fun.
The first one was very funny.
Okay.
Anyways.
Timothy Dalton.
So, that's gonna do it for news. Let's move on into our weekly comics.
Was Paul Rudd in the... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Was Paul Rudd in the TV show that they did, the First Day of Summer one? I forgot if they did or not.
I think he, made an appearance.
Okay.
Or maybe he came back for it. I don't know. He was definitely in it in some form.
Okay.
He at least showed up.
He was definitely my favorite character.
I think he was in that first, TV series, and then he, came back for an appearance for that second one for an episode or something.
Okay, I got you. I loved him. Him in that movie is the best thing ever.
He's so good. Anyways, let's talk about our comics we read this week. We read a bunch of comics together this week, like Jack does with his girlfriend, just over the shoulder. No.
Hey, we haven't done that in a while. Also, it's a very fine way to read comics. I don't understand.
I didn't say anything. I offered no critique. I just simply referenced it.
No, you didn't.
No critique, just referenced it.
You know what you did. Go on.
I did nothing. So we both read Avengers number 7, Black Science number 38, Cosmic Ghost Rider number 3, Death of the Inhumans number 3 also, Justice League number 7, that series, twice monthly books. Just get away from you, boy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. That just started, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like we were just reading Christopher Priest's.
Yeah. And Immortal Hulk number 5. I also read Batman number 54, Captain America number 3, cover number 1, and Paper Girls number 4. And you read one on your own.
I read Paradiso.
What number was that?
That is a good question. I think it's number 6.
Wow. Yeah.
Number 7. It's number 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that series is getting on. Because that's a monthly book.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's good. I mean, I've been reading it since we started the show, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also that was close to the beginning of the show. That was one of your first non-big 2 books, I feel like, that you were reading ongoing like that.
Definitely.
Cool. Speaking of, spoiler warning. We're going to talk specifics about these books. What was your cover of the week?
My cover of the week was Paradiso. I didn't put a link up because you can find one online. Did you?
Not yet. I'll look.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, no. Paradiso Image Comics. Don't just type Paradiso.
Is that like a porn thing?
No, sorry. I didn't mean it as don't do it. So it's this one where he's doing some Inception shit standing on the side of a building and he's got a gun?
No.
Is it this floating head one in blood?
No. What?
None of these are issue 7. What's issue 7? Is it this one where they're flying in a weird Tron tunnel?
Tron Tunnel, yes.
Tron Tunnel. There we go.
It's Tron Tunnel. Trundle.
So this is a cool cover. I like the colors.
Right? That's what I love about this book in general, and I love about this cover, because it really just puts all that out there. The dichotomy between the pink in the foreground and the green in the background, and them going through this weird Tron Tunnel thing. It's just really striking, and there's so much kinetic energy in this, picture. It's so cool to me. I just love the look of this book, and it's what's been pulling me on this book so long, because I just love how it looks. And even if the story has been kind of a little stagnant in a way, it's always taking a step forward, but they're baby steps. But I've gotten to a point where the story is it's there, it's fucking there, and I love all this look. And it's just, this specific cover is just one of my favorite covers they've done. I just love it. It looks so cool.
is this kind of visually where the series has gotten to? Because I know we were very post-apocalyptic before. This looks very like cyberpunky to me.
Yes, very cyberpunky these days. Like they're inside the city and they're like dealing with all that shit. So yes, it's gotten much more like this. Like, can I just give you a premise of what's going on right now? Spoilery kind of?
Yeah, sure.
Right now, they are with this race of people that are stuck underground in this city who live off of human blood or life force of some sort, which can also come from power. And, can I just spoil...
Like electricity, you mean? Or like...
Kind of, but also human blood. So, like, but they're like vampire analogs, and...
Sure.
Right, they've just, we've just realized what the Numis actually does. Can I tell you what it does?
So that's the device that he was like holding on to and didn't know what it did?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So with the Numis thing, this device doesn't just animate like technology. It doesn't just make them start working. It takes some of your like soul or life force of some sort, and it imbues that technology with it. So that technology works because it's a little bit more like you. It like gets part of your personality in a way, which is fucking crazy because I keep thinking back to some of the people that they reanimate. Like there were some cyborgs that he reanimated with it, and I'm wondering how they're going to come back and like be like him or be on his side and shit like that. So it's, I don't know, I thought that was fucking crazy, and just, it's amazing, this art in here, and what they do is, I'm really glad I stuck with this, because it's really, really awesome. Honestly, you could probably, you might be able to, no, maybe not, probably not, I don't know.
What, jump on?
No.
No, I'd have to...
You'd have to go back. But, I don't know, it might read better I'm thinking it might read better just all the way through, too. Like,
probably.
I feel like it just felt like, since it was a monthly book, I feel like it felt like, just, it wasn't going fast enough. But I got here now, and I feel like that wasn't the point of this book. I think it would be helped. I might just read the whole thing again, like, all the way through right now, so even though it's ongoing for me. I don't know. Who knows? But I love this cover. I think it's really, really nice. And it's very reminiscent of what the art is like right now inside the book. And I love that. Like cool. this guy, Pramanik, Pramalama Ding Dong, Pramanik. I don't know. Devmalia Pramanik. Where is this from? What kind of names are these?
I don't know. Let's maybe not make fun of them.
I'm not trying to make fun of them. I'm just interested. Are they like German? Are they Swedish? Are they?
I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll check that out someday. I don't know.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I think that the reason I fell off that book was just because it was a very decompressed story.
Yeah,
it was moving very slowly.
Yes, definitely.
I got a little impatient. But,
I feel that.
Yeah,
Doug, what's your cover of the week?
Yeah, my cover of the week is kind of just that. The series is Cover, and it is issue number 1. And we're looking at the cover to it.
Yes.
So this is the new series from Brian Michael Bendis and David Mack. Brian Michael Bendis has launched approximately 57 new series over at his Jinx World imprint at DC. So yeah, this is the newest one. The cover here is, so it's a book. It's mixing the worlds of comics creation and espionage. Mm-hmm. So we've got a silhouette of a figure like sideways, giving a little like sign with his mouth.
I thought I was doing a finger gun, like holding the finger gun.
Could be either. I guess he could be like blowing off a gun too. Either way,
I think it's a finger. I think you're right.
I think he's shushing, but I think it works either way. And he's segmented into like a panel grid, like a comic, and then in those is a watercolor painting of a woman's face, and then some redacted documents in a couple of them. And it's just a really cool like clever way to graphically communicate the themes and ideas of this book.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I just really like David Mack's painted art.
Yeah, you were telling me that you were expecting the inside to be painted, and this would lead you to believe so, but...
Yeah, so moving on into our books that we gotta talk about this week.
You don't have anything else in the...
Oh, I mean, like, just like, it's a very, like, subdued, like, it's very restrained, and
yes.
it's like, it's striking in how kind of simple it is, and yet it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I like the way in which the eyes are framed by the panels and stuff is very pretty, and I love just the simplicity of, like, communicating, like, espionage through, like, a person shushing and some redacted documents. And like, I just think it's a really conceptually well thought out, simple image that tells you kind of what the book is.
Yeah.
In a very effective way.
That's what a number one, I guess, should. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this book is also, the book that I gotta talk about this week. And yeah, so I was expecting painted art on the inside. I don't think I've seen a lot of David Mack covers before. He does a lot of cover work. And I was expecting the interior of this to be covered. I've never read one where he does the interiors. So I opened it up and it's like a little bit more sketchy. I don't know if you can like find a preview of it or something somewhere.
Let's see here.
But it's line work, you know, like, and it's a very kind of indie sketchy style, a little bit kind of loose, you know. Like the line work almost has like a painted look in that it looks like it was kind of done with like a brush, but yeah, it was not what I was expecting, and it kind of is honestly like pretty underwhelming a little bit at first. But as you go, he does mix in painted stuff.
Oh,
and he uses it for contrast.
This is weird. Is this right? Is it like a very blue sort of overtone?
Yes, everything that is not the painted stuff in this book is this kind of almost monochromatic blue.
I don't really like it, but
yeah, well, it's very well. It keeps very, very restrained, and then you get page turn reveals where something will be all painted, and it makes it this, because of that contrast, it makes it this big like holy shit moment. Like there's a last page like twist, and it's all painted and very colorful in a million colors, and it's really cool. There's a really long conversation scene where one of the characters like slowly becomes like painted and colorful.
Wow.
As kind of you realize like what her motivations and stuff are, and then she fades back to this line work. There's some really interesting artistic choices in terms of like contrasting styles in this book. And I find it really interesting. And also just the basic art style in this book really grew on me by the end of it. It's simple, but it's very expressive.
It's really interesting. Okay, so on the preview, I have the part that they have on here is like, it's most of the regular art, and they're at like some convention, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one woman comes up to this guy's table, and then on one page she's like regular, like everything else, and then the next one she has like, she's more defined. Everything's more defined. Like there's more of a black outline around her, and there's black on her skirt that's like very dark compared to the other stuff. And it just changes from page to page. And it looks like it's because of a realization that happens. That's really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting kind of like under the hood kind of like artistic choices happening in terms of the presentation here that I don't always 100% follow exactly what the motivation is, but you notice it and it makes you kind of like pay attention and be like, okay, why did that happen? And it's really interesting artistically.
Wow.
Also, I was very skeptical of this book going in because I knew the premise, and it's basically what if a comics creative person was recruited to be a spy?
Yeah.
It was basically the pitch. And I feel like that has the potential to be kind of a weird... We talked about this on the show last week. We were concerned that it would be a weird wish fulfillment / I don't know, just kind of self-indulgent a little, you know?
Yes.
Like, what if I was a spy? Or like, aren't comics people so interesting or whatever?
Like, it reminds me of Michael Scarn from The Office. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, a little bit. But like, honestly, like, this comes across less as a, like, Bendis putting himself into it, not like personally, like, what if I was a spy, and more like an outlet for him to like give really pointed commentary on like comics and the comic book like culture and convention circuit around them, kind of the comics market and stuff, through a character who is a comic book professional. And then also he like kind of weave in this really interesting kind of noir story. And there's enough character work in this that seems specific enough that it doesn't feel like it's autobiographical, you know, other than like maybe some thoughts that Bendis has about the comic industry.
Interesting.
And I found it really interesting. It's a bit of a slow burn. Like, it's not like he's just recruited into the CIA. It's a bit of a like, it's a slow burn espionage thing where you're slowly trying to figure out exactly, what that woman that you saw is a big part of it, and like what her deal is and her motivations. And, I found it a lot more interesting than I thought I was going to. And just as a start to a new series, I wanted to kind of give you my impressions.
Okay.
And
so you'd recommend it?
I would recommend it. I think it's a really interesting start to a series.
Okay. I mean, I really like doing cool thematic stuff with art like that. I think I'm really interested in, because I feel like more often than not, the artist doesn't get a lot of attention. Yeah, like not like attention, but like doesn't get a lot of like ability to change based off of a story, which I like the idea of art changing based off of where a story is. And it seems like this is that's a huge part of this. So I really like that. I think I might do that. I have a really small week next week, so I think I'm going to do that. That sounds
surprising.
Really good.
I have a fairly large week next week.
We'll go over after we go through these guys.
Just sometimes that happens. Just the particular series that you're reading just happen to none of them come out that week.
But does that mean like all of them are going to come out the next week? Like, going to have a ridiculously big week?
It generally does mean that like the weeks surrounding it are unnaturally or abnormally large.
Unnaturally large. God.
It's an abomination of a week. So, Jack, what was the book that you have got to talk about?
I got to talk about Black Science number 38.
Okay.
So, I know I changed this, Doug. I'm sorry.
You did change this. I didn't even notice.
Oh, look at you. I just wanted to talk about this because shit's happening and we don't always have this book to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, and it's new for us. And, a lot of shit happened.
Being able to talk about it is new for us.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened.
You just caught up. Yeah.
In this issue, and we learned a big thing. Spoilers, just again. So apparently, we, like, the humans in this Neververse are, like, what is the movie that came out? What's the movie that came out that I'm being reminded of? The movie that you saw, I didn't see, that wasn't that great, by Steven Spielberg, Ready Player One. So apparently the humans in this universe are like the Ready Player One
I don't know
Oasis.
I don't know that it's necessarily... No, I don't know that it's necessarily people directly living through people.
Yes, it is. They said you do not have any free will, and they call them avatars, literally.
But I think it's more of a... They're more like AIs. Like, I don't think these people are going in and living other people's lives.
You think they're viewing it?
Yeah, I think they're like consuming it.
Then why did they say you have no free will?
Because their lives are being controlled. They're not
who?
being controlled
Not by them?
by them, but not like, I don't think they're like embodying them like first person, like a Ready Player One scenario where they're like, I'm going to go over here and do this. It's more like they're like puppet mastering the whole world behind the scenes, is my understanding.
I don't know, man. It looks like Grant puts on this helmet of theirs and he lives through this entire life.
I don't know.
I mean, whatever.
I think in any case, I think they're viewing them. I don't think they're controlling them.
I don't know.
Then what is Grant McKay and what is no
Exactly. I don't know how it works then. That's what I wanted to talk about.
I don't think that, like, maybe they can jump into them, but I don't think that they're, like, able to control their decisions and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's a little unclear. This issue got a little away from me in terms of the, like the lore dump, like what it actually meant in terms of, like, the nature of the world and stuff.
Because the two angels are calling each other Grant and Kadir.
And
which is
then
fucking crazy.
Yeah, so these weird centipede angel people are also like other versions of them, and there's
they're the versions of them is the thing.
Yeah, they're the original versions of them. It sounds like. So there's a Grant and a Kadir, and they get in an argument, and Kadir kills centipede Grant. And it's it's nuts.
I really I really think that they're just controlling all these people, and then somehow that's why I don't get like how the ending is happening. Are all those people being like controlled or viewed by other people? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe they lose their control once they start traveling to other places in the Neververse. And I think it's like a sort of Island of Dr. Moreau thing where they're like, since they're gone and they're off, they're kind of going rogue and they can't be controlled or something anymore. I feel like
I don't think that's the case. I think they're consistently always their own. I don't know. I think it's more just like that these people are manipulating the world, like the entire Neververse, like creating and destroying and like controlling the worlds, but I don't, and like controlling the people's decisions, but like from a broader perspective. I don't think that they're like, yes, they're maybe witnessing, like putting on helmets and witnessing people's perspectives, but I don't think they're like, like playing a video game, like making, like, I'm making you walk over here and punch a dude, you know, like, I don't know that that's exactly what's happening, but I can see the argument against that based on the book. I don't know. It feels to me like the information I got in this was somewhat confusing and conflicted a little bit.
Maybe we'll get more soon. I mean, I assume so. They've been pretty...
I'm not confusing. I just felt like I wasn't getting the full picture yet, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it means.
I can feel that. They do say life is a feast of existence. You get a meal of uncertain size. So, I mean, that leads me to believe that your thing of like them are like consuming it somehow, or it's like energizing them. But then, like, why do like? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. We're not getting the whole picture, but I think that they're living all these lives and they're creating all these new universes because they do this.
I don't know. I think it's maybe more like, maybe they're controlling certain people, but not everyone in those universes is being controlled. I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. But yeah, this shit's crazy though. Like, it's still like so enjoyable. And it was still like, holy shit, like what the fuck is going on? Like the fact that he lived this so I love the sequence of him living the entire life. And then her saying, years, you're gone for like a few seconds, dude. Like, chill out. God. It's just, they made us, and you know, that emotional resonance is still there. And then I guess the antimatter is there now, and they get taken out by the people, by their kids and stuff, their team. Mm-hmm. But
okay, I feel like I'm misremembering. Didn't one or more of these characters die recently? Like, I thought
the son died.
I thought Nate had died.
I think maybe these are alternate versions of them or something.
It might be, but it's like the superhero version of him, which was a very specific one, but whatever.
It was like
maybe
the
he didn't actually
one.
die. Maybe it was like a fake out death or something.
Maybe,
or maybe it looked like he died, and now this is us learning he didn't.
Maybe. I do wish, like, at some points in this series, I got really lost on, like, which version of who I was looking at, and I wish there was some easier way to find that. You know what I mean?
I mean, for the most part, other than, like, specific people, it's the original versions. Like, I think the only person in this last image who isn't the original version is Ward in the back.
Ward?
Is that his name? The, like, security guy from the very beginning of the book who, like, they found, like, a...
Yeah.
I think he's a different universe one. I think? Maybe not. Maybe they're all the original ones. I don't know.
But Grant's changed so many times, too, I feel like, and...
No, Grant changed a couple times, but we went back to the original.
I know, but
we were following an alternate one for a little bit.
Yeah, and then, Godworld was the one that brought us back to the original one, right?
I think so, sometime around then. Yeah.
When we, thought he was dead, but he was really in this random place with this thing saying, asking him questions and shit, right? That was the thing?
I think that was it.
Ugh.
Anyways.
But yeah, still, this book is amazing, and God, Rick Remender. I'm so excited to get, and read Uncanny X-Force again. Not Uncanny. Is it Uncanny X-Force?
It's Uncanny X-Force, yeah.
Okay. Also, this week I learned about, Chris Claremont's run of X-Men. Mm-hmm. I'm reading that someday, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the big X-Men run, generally speaking, like, in terms of, like, what people hold as, like, the best stuff. Like, in my understanding, I'm X-Men, big gap in my knowledge.
No, I know, but I it's such an interesting, like, I'm really excited to read it because it seems like there's so much put into those stories that. And I love the art usually and how they like emote there usually. And it's, I don't know. I think it's going to be one of the next big runs that I try and do.
I've read, I have never sat down and like tried to read his run or anything. I've read like Spotted stuff. I think he wrote a couple X-Men things I read. Like I believe he wrote God Loves and Man Kills, which is a good, fairly standalone X-Men book.
Old one or new?
Yeah. From like the I don't remember when that would have been. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was before him. Anyways.
All right.
But yeah. So yeah, let me know if you read that. That is definitely like the one I think you're supposed to read. I have Dark Phoenix Saga, which I believe is part of his run.
Yeah, it's part of the whole thing. Yeah,
it's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so
what's your panel of the week, Doug?
My favorite panel this week was actually, I guess, not panel. These are my panels of the week.
Segments, sequence.
No, they are my panels of the week. That's what we had changed it to a while ago, and we never changed it in the format.
Oh, I got you.
These are my panels of the week in Justice League number 7 here. It's like, it was just a really cool moment. I don't know that it really like means a lot, but like, I just thought it was, I enjoy a good blockbustery, like one-liner and then the guy gets his comeuppance kind of moment. Like when you do a really good one of those, I just really enjoy that archetypal moment. Like where like it seems like the hero's gonna lose and then they say a quip and then they do like some unexpected big thing.
It's such a comic book thing. It's great.
It is such a comic book thing, and I love it when it's done well. And so we've got a page here where John Stewart, the Green Lantern of this Justice League team, he's being attacked by Sinestro, and specifically the two panels that I love are he lights up his Green Lantern ring and he says, "I'm also an architect." And then the next panel is a big panel of him bringing a giant green building down on Sinestro, which is just hilarious. Like, in that, like, it basically has nothing to do with an architect other than he made it the shape of a building.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't build something, he smashed it into him. But that's also kind of like I think, purposefully ironic in
Okay.
it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's just funny. Like, I'm also an architect, and that he brings a building, like a skyscraper, down on him.
Was Jon Stewart actually an architect?
Yes.
See, that's what makes it good.
Yeah, no. Like all the side grid lanterns generally have like their like Kyle Rayner is an artist, like
yes, I know
like
you told
he
me.
draws, and so he like makes like
what's Guy Gardner other than a dick?
He's an asshole.
Is that it?
I don't know. I'm not sure like what his. I don't know that he has like a thing like that.
He might be a literal asshole lantern. Who knows? Maybe he's just like, you know what I mean, like flying around.
He's a brown lantern.
The brown lantern, yeah. Are there brown lanterns?
No.
I use the power of my bowels. I really have to take a crap. That means I'm really powerful. You right?
Yeah. They channel that into their ring. It's like the Red Lanterns. They vomit blood, but it's
rage.
But you know, a different kind of rage.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, great moment too. I don't have much to say about it, but yes, I think in general, like in comics, those kinds of moments are really, really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just found that to be a really fun blockbustery moment, and like I think Scott Snyder writes that stuff very well, and also Jim Chung on this book. I got real used to Jorge Jimenez, and I was like, I wonder if I even want to go back to Jim Chung, because I love Jim Chung, but like I really liked what Jorge Jimenez does, and just seeing this again just reminded me of like, oh yeah, Jim Chung is fucking great.
This was a great art in this book. I really liked it. So yeah, I don't know.
I was a big fan of his art in this book. So did not feel like it lost a step switching artists, which is always kind of key when you're going to have multiple artists.
I really like how he draws Green Lantern for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I really like how he draws Lex. And yeah, Jon Stewart looks awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really great work going on.
Wait a minute, why is Detective Chimp in the background of this Starman reveal?
On the page before that, or no, I guess it's a couple pages earlier. They've gotten everyone together, which is like more than just. It's like more than.
Is it like Dark? Justice League Dark too?
They've got a bunch of Justice League Dark members there, but they've also got Animal Man and they got Green Arrow, and neither of them are on a team right now.
Yeah.
So and they got Adam Strange is in the back there.
Yeah,
he's got the red
visor.
helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his current look.
Huh.
I feel like they glossed over this in the first issue. I think the idea is that the Justice League has this core team, but like everyone is a member.
I got you.
That was kind of the idea I think they put out there in the first issue. They never really explored that at all.
Interesting.
But like they said, like we were deciding whose outfits to put up in the Hall of Justice, and so we decided everyone. Which, like, didn't necessarily directly say that everyone was a member, but I feel like kind of implied it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or at least that they were, like, going to embrace in this book a larger family of heroes than just the core team.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Anyways.
But anyway, they had gotten all of them together to, like, I don't know, stand around and look at this glowy thing, I guess.
I got you. So now, your quick word on our character reveal at the end.
Oh, yeah, fuck the Batman Who Laughs.
Why?
I hate his costume. I fucking hate it. I think it's one of the most overcomplicated, gaudy, like, just...
He's a gimp.
Yes, and it looks stupid. He's big spikes over his face and all these chains.
It's like Pulp Fiction. He's like, bring out the gimp.
And it's just like, it feels like a metal thing from like 1992, like not even a current metal thing, which I don't know. It feels like someone going to a Gwar concert or something.
What's Gwar?
Look them up sometime. They're a metal group. They wear scary monster costumes.
Okay. Well, you should have a daddy necklace.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
In any case...
I just really don't like that character, and he was in Immortal Men they were really pushing him as a part of that book, and I just really would wish he would just go away.
Okay.
There were you don't understand. Comic-Con, there were so many Batman Who Laughs cosplays.
Really?
So many.
That's so random.
More than I think any other character.
Oh.
And I just hate it. I hate his look.
Doug, he's gonna be the new Venom.
That doesn't even make sense.
He's gonna be the new person that everyone latches onto because he's gonna be ultra violent. He's gonna be like kind of funny at times and sadistic.
And he just like, it's like the Joker is fucked up enough already. Do we really need like, here's the more fucked up Joker? Like, whatever.
Fuck that.
I don't know.
Hopefully at some point the Joker and him meet and the Joker just fucks him up.
Yeah, that would make me very happy.
Okay.
I'm hoping that's where this goes.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
Joker's in this book.
Wasn't that a part of the end of Dark Knight's Metal where the Joker like beat these people up because he wasn't invited or something like that?
Something like that.
Well, yeah, that's
I
it.
don't know.
Lex was like, you made one mistake. You didn't invite the Joker. And then he fucks him up or something like that.
I think he like shot him or something. I don't
something
even
like
remember.
that. So I feel like this might have to do with that. You know what I mean? Like maybe the Joker will still be like, "Hey," you know? That's my Joker voice.
Mm-hmm. He does that a lot. He yells, "Hey!" in every other panel.
Shut up. Okay, well, I have a panel of the week this week as well, and it's from a very different book that's still just amazing. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider. I'm so happy this book exists.
I was just struck after I read this issue, just like, what a fucking weird book.
Yeah, but it's so good.
like conceptually, like who fucking thinks of this shit? Like, this is a series that's basically Cosmic Ghost Rider, who's a character who Donna Cates and Jeff Shaw introduced in their Thanos series. It's a future version of Frank Castle, goes back in time to when Thanos was a baby, basically kidnaps him.
Yeah.
And says, I'm going to raise you as my own. And that's the book. And like, everyone's trying to stop him from doing it because he's insane, and a combination of the Punisher and Ghost Rider trying to like keep Thanos from becoming a murderer. And so, this issue is like a future version of the Guardians of the Galaxy, led by Cable, are trying to stop him. And it's basically a really long fight scene, but
he murders everybody. But it's so
he does murder everybody.
I love it because it's just, I don't know. There's also moments put in here that, like, okay, for example, my panel, this is the 2-page splash where there are they're both basically 4 different sections of Cosmic Ghost Rider fucking everybody up. Now, before this, just so everyone knows, he's been trying to not kill as much because baby Thanos seems to have a proclivity for killing and murdering and wanting to murder people, which is hysterical also. But so Cosmic Ghost Rider's been trying to be like, okay, I don't want to do this in front of the kid. So he says, look away. And literally at the top of the corner, what is this responding to? It says,
well, he gives baby Thanos to the Watcher a little while earlier, and then he's like talking about his family and his life before being Punisher, I think.
Yeah. And he says his wife told him, Frank, honey, she'd say, you don't have to fight the whole world. And it's on this 2-page splash of Cosmic Ghost Rider killing everyone.
Yeah, like every Marvel character. They're all alternate universe versions of them, but like it's like a million Marvel characters.
There's like fucking Captain America, Hulk. I see a Winter Soldier, the Hulkbuster armor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Storm, I think.
Yes.
Let's see here. Another X-Men, Blade. I'm trying to find all of them. Medusa. Sorry.
I'm unsure here if there's Kitty Pryde. I'm unsure if I think she's been set on fire, or she's another Ghost Rider. I think she's been set on fire.
And then we have Wolverine, and Deadpool's at the bottom corner, I think, waving to the camera, by the way. I just noticed that.
Oh, I didn't even see him.
That's
hilarious.
That's totally...
He's like a weird little chibi Wolverine or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
We got like a 1940s Captain America with the like shield-shaped shield. And
we have Iron Man here, and is that Adam Warlock right here in Spider-Man at the bottom of the corner?
That is Nova next to Lady Spider-Man there.
Because the boobs with the blue, is that it?
I think that is
the bloobs.
I think those are supposed to be boobs. I think it's a Lady Spider-Man.
That looks really weird. I mean, good on them for not doing the run-of-the-mill big boobs thing, but it looks really weird in that costume.
Maybe it's not supposed to be boobs. It's confusing because it's a different costume.
They're bloobs.
They're bloobs.
But yeah, I just the colors, like, they use colors in this so well. Like, they have all the orange on this side and the blue on this side, and the blue kind of signifies when he's getting attack put on him as well. So, which I think is a really cool distinction. And there's so much detail put into this. And then also the little touch of putting the wide eyes of baby Thanos looking on almost in a horror, like almost as if this might be him seeing like what this murderer can do and how bad it is, actually, because it looks like he's crying and surprised. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
he's just like, looking on in shock.
So yeah, I don't know. No, maybe not actually. Like, he does take someone's arm at the end.
Yeah, then we come back to him later, and he has taken Cable's arm off of his body and is beating him to death with it. This baby, which was also a contender for panel of the week.
Yes,
for me.
But yeah, I was in awe at this page, and I just took so long, like, delving into the little bits of it, and it's just some of the best of what this book is. And my other panel of the week could have been the last reveal, which was such a build up for such like having him come back. Basically, this last panel says, "Hi, Dad," and it's the grown up Thanos in Punisher gear walking through a field of blood. It's just like, it's the perfect. There's so much in this story that's just perfect. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's Donny Cates just throwing Marvel shit in a blender and just, like, reveling in the weird mix of, like, stuff that he's doing here. Like, it's so much fun. And, like, yeah, Dylan Burnett and Antonio Fabela are just letting loose on the art and colors here. It's just a fucking blast. Also, they made such a big deal out of this, like, this future Guardians team in the end of the last issue in, like, the marketing for these books.
Yeah.
And, like, they're on the cover here and stuff, and, like, they introduce them all with, like, names and stuff. They say, like, what all their names are. There's Juggerduck and Iron Groot and, Kamala Khan as Captain Marvel and Jubilee, and then they die immediately.
Yeah,
they all Galactus just, like, annihilates them.
You remember that book, The Unexpected? This is how you do it, Unexpected.
Yeah,
God,
like, fucking Jesus, it's so much fun. Like, if you read Thanos and you're not reading this, what are you doing? And also, you don't need to read that to read this. Just read it.
Oh yeah, seriously. I mean, if you want to read Thanos, you shouldn't read this before that. But if you don't desire to, just fucking read this.
It would ruin the one reveal of just who Cosmic Ghost Rider is.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, like, the fucking, like, little recap they give in the beginning of the first issue, that's, like, all of the beats of Frank Castle's life up until this point, where, like, how he got to this point in, like, one panel with one line. Like, it was 2 pages. It was just, like, it, like, said, like, he was the Punisher, and then he died, and then this happened, and then this happened, and it was so simple and boiled down and so good. Like, anybody could pick that up and read it, and I thought that was so well done.
I got you. Also, two other moments that I need to talk about in this book. Small Galactus is great.
Oh, yeah.
No, Galactus will have vengeance! Galactus shall return! As he gets shot off. Is great. Also, I love the beat-up face of Cable, like, right before he gets his head blown off, saying, "He's worse. Oh god, he's so much worse. Please, Frank, you have to..." It's just,
God.
I don't know how to describe this book sometimes, because it's like, it's really hysterical at times, but also it's like so exciting and gripping. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just, I can't say anything more.
Yeah. It's so good. Cool. So, any other thoughts on any of the other books that we didn't talk about?
I mean, I really liked Avengers. I know we were kind of souring on Avengers last week. This was a much different story, and I really liked it. I liked the focus on what is it? The prehistoric Ghost Rider was great.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about it though. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah, that was a fun issue. It was a good kind of palate cleanser. It sounds like we are getting another like palate cleanser in the current timeline in the next issue.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is going to be at the end of every arc. We're going to get a background issue about one of the prehistoric Avengers.
I'll take it.
I think they're like really fun and one of the more interesting parts of this book. So I'm excited for more stuff with them. I assume that this is an indication that they are going to continue to be a plot point. In the book, which I like. I'm
wondering what you thought of Immortal Hulk 2, because I really enjoyed it. Sorry.
You really enjoyed it so much you turned into like a werewolf?
Yes. It became the Hulk. That was my Hulk voice.
Oh my god, you hulked out. You turned into Sasquatch.
No, I really liked it, and I like the ongoing story they're setting up with like his dad. I think it's kind of dumb of the Hulk to absorb gamma radiation that he knew his dad inhabited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that seemed like a bad decision.
Then again, Hulk is not Banner, so
yeah. I really came around on this book after the last issue, and this issue actually jumped like pretty close to the top of my stack in terms of like reading order. Like I was pretty excited to read this issue, and I liked this. I don't think I liked it as much as I liked the last couple.
Yeah,
but I did really enjoy it. I think I like the interpretation of the Hulk makes a lot more sense to me now. I wish it would kind of pull back a little though, because I was one thing that really kind of started to sell me on this book was the idea of telling this horror story of the Hulk from other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And that felt to me like it was going to be an ongoing thing in the book, and this felt a little bit more like we were going back to like the second issue where it's just like we're following the Hulk.
I got you. I think maybe the next one, when we're not in this scenario, I think now we have the groundwork for a new, like, I don't know. I get the feeling that we're going to go back to that in the next issue. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to, like, ebb and flow. Like, it seems like the structure is going to be fairly dynamic in that way in this book. Like, whose point of view are we following?
Yeah.
I'm interested about this dad thing. I'm not sure if that's an existing thing before, or if this is a new thing they're introducing. I know nothing about Bruce Banner's dad.
Yeah.
So he seems to be a fucking terrifying Vincent Price-esque man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need like a cough drop or a glass of water, or what's going on here?
It's just every once in a while I need to clear it. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's earlier for me here than it is for you. Mm-hmm. It's like almost 1 there, right?
It is almost 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Cool. So, that's gonna do it for this week. That's the end of the spoiler section. Next week, we've got, some new books. We've got, Warren Ellis's Cemetery Beach, which I'm very excited about the first issue.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then, Fantastic Four #2, which we weren't, I think we ended up being not so thrilled after the first issue.
I'm going to judge it based off of this one. It's going to...
Yeah, I think the team actually coming together, which they teased is going to happen in this issue. I think that's going to be a big determining factor of whether or not I continue to read this book, like how that's done.
Yeah.
Because the just Ben and Johnny stuff, Thing and Human Torch stuff, in the last issue felt like it was retreading a lot of
Marvel 2 in 1
ground.
Yeah.
Not as well. So yeah. Yeah. Anything else coming out?
One second. I have my list right in front of me. So,
Spider-Man's coming out. I'm so excited.
Beach.
I've been on a big Spider-Man kick after starting to play this game.
Oh, nice.
I'm very much enjoying this current run.
I've decided that I'm getting the first trade. I'm gonna wait for that.
Of
Nick Spencer's.
Of Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Do it, man. Yeah.
I just feel like that'll be nicer for me. Also, Farmhand is coming out, and Hawkman is coming out.
Oh, shit. Farmhand's coming out?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Hawkman.
Hawkman is coming out. I'm going to, depending on how this issue of Hawkman is, I may or may not drop that book.
That's kind of where I'm at, too, because I didn't enjoy the last one all too much. I really liked the first issue thematically, and then it didn't really do a whole lot with it in the second or third issue. I just feel like they're not talking about his previous lives as much anymore.
Yeah, and it feels like we're getting to that point, but it feels like we're just going through so much of him just flying around fighting things randomly.
Yeah.
To get to the interesting plot stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna give that one more. Yeah, Farmhand. Yeah, that's definitely a highlight.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped. But yeah, I don't have much else. What do you have otherwise?
Well, my fucking app is apparently wrong about half this shit, so I'm not sure. But according to this, other than the couple that I was debunked on earlier, what do you not have? Detective Comics?
No.
Oh, Detective Comics is James Robinson is taking over. It's going to be a Two-Face story of some kind.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm picking that up.
Huh.
And then the new League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's coming out. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Okay, one second. Before we leave, also, I want to talk about my first thoughts of Final Crisis, which I started.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So, I think it's fantastic thus far.
How far into it are you?
I have read, I think, 3 issues.
Okay, how many is it?
7.
7, that's right. We talked about that.
It is, I don't know, I have a pretty good handle on everything that's going on thus far. So
it starts out pretty straightforward.
Okay.
It gets more high concept as it goes.
Okay, we'll see. But I really, really enjoyed the story so far. It's really interesting. They have a really good balance of some detective work from Renee Montoya's The Question to I don't know, some crazy cosmic stuff and weird reality stuff with the Flash just happened, and the Alpha Lanterns, which is a really cool concept that they introduced here. They're kind of like the FBI to the cops of those guys, and they're interesting. So I really like it thus far. I really love the art in it specifically, and I don't know, I just like the general way it's progressing. What?
Oh, we talked about the art.
J.G. Jones.
Oh yeah, J.G. Jones is great.
And Doug Monkey does the colors.
Okay, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, but he does the art for the last 3 issues of the last issue or something like that.
Okay, weird.
But and then my final thoughts on 52 was that it's great. I just want to talk about one thing that and I'm going to talk a little bit softer so Samantha doesn't hear me because she's in the middle of it right now. The Renee Montoya Question storyline just is crazy.
It's so good.
It changes so much. It's one thing for the first half, and then it's oh shit, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, right?
I love it so much. I just I love kind of the journey it sends her on.
Oh yeah.
And how she thinks it's one thing and it kind of becomes another, and then she's kind of having to deal with that.
It's ridiculous.
And I really like her as the Question. I hope they bring her back someday.
Yeah. Is that guy alive now or what?
They brought back Vic Sage, that's the other guy, as the Question a while back, and they made him supernatural, he was cursed to not have a face, and it was fucking stupid.
See, that's what I thought he was originally.
No, I don't like that.
No, I mean, now that I know he just does it to be cool, like, I'm over it. I'm a little over it now, and I like it. Like, it's fine. It's a good thing. It's okay. So I can see how that being the character, and now it changing to what I thought it was.
Anyway.
That's annoying. I can see that.
Yeah, anyways, it just, like, put a weird mythology spin on the character that was never there. And then he just kind of, like, everyone stopped using him because no one wanted to touch that.
Oh.
So there hasn't... Renee Montoya, I think, has come back. Yeah, she's popped up every now and again because she's on and off again Batwoman's girlfriend. But she's not the question as far as I know.
I got you. Okay. Also, can you tell me more about Bruno Mannheim? So is he, like, usually a supernatural kind of thing, or is he just a crime boss, or what?
He is the crime syndicate. What are they called?
Intergang?
Intergang. What is crime syndicate? Something.
I don't know.
I don't remember. That's something.
The syndicate really is in Mission Impossible.
Crime syndicate is something. Yeah, I don't really know much about him. I think this was like the most I've ever read of something with him, if I've even seen him in anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't really say if this was his normal portrayal or not.
Yeah.
He's the leader of Intergang, and they're secretly a weird cult.
Yeah. But I loved that
Intergang is a thing that comes up a bunch in DC. Like, they're just like this international
gang.
Like organized crime. Yeah.
An intergang.
An intergang, if you will. Oh my god.
I loved the finish of the Elongated Man's story, though, too. I thought that was great. Yeah. Like, do you remember, like, he gets killed by the guy, but then he, like, is able to trap him in that room or something? Yep. It's so fucking great. It's perfect. But, yeah. So
was that Faust? Was that Faust who came after him?
Well, wait, no. So Felix Faust was the guy who was inhabiting the Dr. Fate helmet, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was, like, leading him on all this stuff, but then he figures it out. But that's not, like, Felix Faust was hired by Neron or something like that.
Yes, Neron. I remember Neron.
Is Neron like the devil?
Neron is like Mephisto.
Okay.
At Marvel.
Okay.
He is a stand-in for the devil, basically. Although he's more like about like dreams and stuff in a weird way. But anyways, yeah, he's a devil character.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, I mean, those are my thoughts on those.
Yeah, and then I again, have been having a hankering for Spider-Man, so I jumped into. You read a bunch of Dan Slott's Spider-Man.
I've read two of the big volumes of it.
Okay, so there is a second. Is it still called Big Time?
There are 4 big volumes of Big Time.
Jesus Christ!
I have the 3rd and 4th, but I haven't read them yet, and that's what comes before Superior, I believe.
Okay. God, there's so much.
I know.
There's so much. But I'm excited to have all of that ahead of me if I like this, because I started the first ultimate or complete collection, volume 1 of Big Time, by Dan Slott. And I'm on not far into it at all. I read the first issue, like over lunch yesterday. But I'm really liking it. I'm generally I'm having the same kind of reaction to this and Dan Slott's writing as I did to Nick Spencer on Spider-Man. Because I generally am not huge on their writing, but for some reason the specific mix of comedy and type of comedy that those guys do, and they're very different, by the way, those two writers and senses of humor. But for some reason, both of them, even though I don't generally jive with a lot of their stuff, like feel like really good fits for the character of Peter Parker.
It's a different character. You have to do specific things with him, and it's a very specific tone. And I don't know. Yeah, I think he does really well. I remember that first issue of Dan Slott's Big Time because I remember it being a really well put together issue and like getting you into his world and what's going on right now specifically. And it ends you at a point where you're like, okay, this is where we're jumping off from. Let's do this.
Yeah, it was an interesting bit of it's throwing you into the middle of a lot of clearly ongoing kind of stuff. Like he's in a lot of weird status quo stuff.
Yeah.
And does a little bit of table resetting, but also like mostly just kind of like really quickly gets you up to speed on a lot of that stuff. And I thought it was really well done. I feel like I have a fairly good handle of it going forward.
Just you wait, like it's really cool how he throws in really intensely dramatic moments. There are some really great emotional beats in it that I was really surprised about, honestly, because you don't really get that idea from the general thing, but it goes so many places. And honestly, like, you have something to look forward to, because like, I thought the second book was like, it's like the first book's great and it's a great all around story. But I think the second book, like this whole huge book that I have it's this slow burn storyline that's all like, it all has to do with each other. And it's such a good story in and of itself. And it's so, I don't know, he does such a good job at building long-term storylines. He really does. And it's great that he has this huge run, because it seems like he's really showing it off.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to have all that stuff ahead of me. I enjoyed the first issue. Can you tell me how much of this stuff does Humberto Ramos, he's the artist from that first issue?
Humberto.
How much does he... Okay. How much does Ramos do on this run?
That's a good question. I don't know. I tried to pay attention. I think a decent amount. I think of like most of it, but I don't know.
Because I really like his art.
I don't see the art changing all that much. Like at the end of the first book, there's a lot of random one-shot stories that happen that are different artists and stuff that are fine. Like, they're good stories. I just didn't think it was the best. But I believe it goes back to the same, like, it goes back on the regular title. Like, it's him, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's probably going to about do it for the show. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to us idiots ramble on about all this nonsense. We implore you to please give us a review or star rating on iTunes or whatever podcast app you prefer. But mostly iTunes. If you enjoy the show, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse.
Thank you.
We release episodes weekly on Sundays, just like today. So be sure to check back in next week. And again, we're probably going to have a bonus episode about, well, hopefully going to have a bonus episode about Spider-Man for PS4.
Do it.
Coming out sometime in the next week or so.
Do it.
We'll say. So keep an eye out for that in the podcast feed. It'll be probably right after this show.
Nice.
You can also subscribe to the show, to the podcast feed, and you don't even have to think about it. It just shows up on your phone.
Exactly. You can do it on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music. Did you look at Google Play Music?
Nope, we still gotta figure that out.
Okay. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't want to add it on to our thing, because I don't really... I can. I just don't know if we need to, like, go back, if we have, like, an account or something with them or something like... You know what I mean?
We'll figure that out.
Okay. But whichever podcast app you prefer, other than Google Play Music for the time being, we got you covered. It's my mom's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Mom.
Aww.
I love you.
Happy birthday.
She doesn't listen to these, so I don't know.
No.
In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @comicscovered, as you'd spell it. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com, LIBSYN, and on our YouTube channel. We have video versions as well on Facebook. So check it out. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, we haven't had a question or feedback. We haven't had a question.
I have not been checking the email.
Just give me you should give me the login.
Yeah,
for that.
I'll give you the login. I've just been very bad about checking for.
Doug has control issues, everybody. I'm just kidding.
I've given you the login to everything else.
I'm just kidding. But send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. Doug won't look at it, but I will, because I love you. And at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We love you. I'm your husband.
Like the internet's husband or my husband?
No, I'm not your... God, you're disgusting, Doug. I'm the audience's husband.
You're everyone who listens to this podcast, you're their husband.
Yes, by law.
Wow, I am a justice of the peace. My name is Doug, and I do declare Jack and audience. That was it.
Okay. And this
like man and wife.
Okay, fun. Well, we're not man and wife. I'm man. They're not all wives.
You're man
I guess
and...
they could be sister wives, like Mormons.
You're man and spouses.
Spousei?
Spice. Man and spice.
Man and spice. I'll take that. This has been Comics Covered.
Thanks.
Cheerio.